Hey Cricket Rockstar Nation, welcome to yet another episode of the Cricket Rockstar Show, or should I say, this week's weekly edition of the Cricket Rockstar Show, to say the least. We have a couple of topics to review this week, from Trinidad and Tobago Red Force winning their first 4-day championship since 2006, to Bangladesh sweeping Pakistan 2-0 for their first ever Test Series win against Pakistan on home soil. And then we'll be discussing all the IPL action that took place over the last week, as the final playoff berth spot involving Rajasthan Royals, Kolkata Knight Riders and the Punjab Kings is to be determined by the end of Sunday's action, when the final two league phase matches take centre stage. Ready or not, in the words of my Standard 5 SCA teacher from 2015-2016, the late Mr. Alfred, let's do this. So without further ado, let's get this show on the way. After 20 years of near misses and frustration, history has officially been created once again. On Wednesday, the 20th of May 2026, the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force stood tall of the Sir Viv Richards Stadium in Antigua, completely dismantling the reigning champions, the Guyana Harpy Eagles, by a massive margin of 141 runs. It wasn't just a victory, it was a total demolition performance. The Red Force didn't just claim the West Indies 4-day championship title, they seized it with the authority of true champions, providing that Trinidadian red ball cricket is officially back on the top of the mountain after a very long time, or should I say, on the rise once again after many years. The foundation of this historic triumph was led in a grueling first innings battle where every single run was vital, as the team at the end of the first innings, whether the match had ended in a draw, would have secured first innings and the title. The Trinidad and Tobago Red Force posted a competitive 260 all-out, courtesy vital lower order and tailenders contributions, and the stunning maiden first-class half-century from speedster Jayden Seales, who proved that he is not only a major value for the Red Force with the new ball and the old ball, but can also be very handy with the bat as well. He made 70 not out. In response, the Harpy Eagles pushed back very hard, courtesy half-century from all-rounder Kemo Paul, but the Trinidadian bowling attack hunted them down in packs to restrict Guyana to 247 all-out, handing them first innings lead of 13 runs. So at the end of the first innings, Trinidad and Tobago had two choices. They either could have gone and batted out as many sessions as they can to secure the 4-day title, or try and get as much quick runs as possible and go for the all-out win. Well, in their second turn of the crease, the Red Force batters showed immense discipline in their second turn at the crease, digging deep to construct partnerships under immense pressure. They stood ground. They did post a crucial 267 in the second innings, setting Guyana a highly challenging target of 281 for victory. It was a clinical performance from Red Force in setting up the game, giving the bowlers enough cushion to attack while placing the psychological advantage of the fourth innings chase, which was entirely on the shoulders of the Guyanese batters. Now, throughout the entire 4-day competition, the Guyanese batters have been performing constantly, especially against the Windward Islands volcanoes, which they were absolutely top-notch. Most of the matches, if I am not mistaken, was one-sided, so as the exhibition first-class match against the West Indies Academy. But the Trinidad and Tobago bowlers, they were too hot to handle for the Guyanese batters. And don't forget, in the second innings of Trinidad and Tobago's second innings, Evan Lewis, for the first time in a decade, scored a first-class 100. He made 122, but that shot he tried to go after Godekishmoti for was pretty needless, to say the least. And that led to his downfall at 122. But by the time he was dismissed, the damage was already done as they ended up posting 267. And their bowlers in the late in the first session into the second session of the match, or should I say the second session of the final, they were completely all over the Guyana Happy Girls batting lineup. What followed in the final innings was an absolute masterclass of high pressure bowling that will be talked about in Trinidadian cricket for a long time to come. That's because the Happy Eagles had at least less than 3 sessions to get the 281. They were bundled out for 139. This phenomenal bowling attack that has the likes of Jaden Seals, Anderson Phillip, Joshua James, Terrence Hines. They didn't need it Kyrie Pair to bowl at all. These 4 fast bowlers absolutely blew away the Happy Eagles. Jaden Seals, he led the wreckage with figures of 3 for 39, finishing with match figures of 7 wickets for 95. He was absolutely phenomenal and was well supported, as I just mentioned, by the clinical Terrence Hines, who I find has had one hell of a resurrection in his first-class career, or should I say first-class season so far. He was simply brilliant, not just with the bat where he got his maiden first-class 100, but in the ball particularly. He had figures of 3 wickets for 20, while the unplayable Joshua James, who I must say has gone unnoticed, he strangled the opposition with baffling figures, or should I say mind-blowing figures of 2 wickets for 12 runs. This historic momentum victory is just more than a trophy. It's a testament to the evolution, resilience, and brilliance of this young Red Force team that were missing big names who had went out to the IPL, or should I say some of the others made themselves unavailable. But after 20 long years of continued near misses, they finally this young team solidified themselves up there with the legacy. The Red Force didn't just win the title, they dominated from the start of the competition. Mind you, they had that one drawn game against the Happy Eagles, and they remember in that knockout game, they blew away the Barbados Pride, who at one point was trying to bat out for a draw. They were completely blown away. And I must say, with this victory, hopefully Trinidad and Tobago's red ball cricket gets resurrected by this. And I wish the team nothing but the best. It is truly, without a doubt, starts a glorious new era for cricket in Trinidad and Tobago. And very interestingly, here's an interesting fact. The last time when Trinidad and Tobago Red Force won the 4-day title was back in 2006 under the leadership of Darren Ganga, the great Brian Charles Lara, who was at the back end of his long, illustrious cricketing career. He was a part of that 11. So was Riyad Emrit, who is the head coach of Red Force now. He was on that team and scored 100 in that particular final against Barbados. And at that time, late in 2006, early 2007, he made the West Indies team but barely got opportunities. There was also the always lively Dwayne Bravo, who was a part of that team. So was Lendell Simmons, Dinesh Ramdin, Merv Dillon, Dave Mohammed, and the only survivor from that 11 that won the 2006 final, who, mind you, just played his last first-class game, was Jason Mohammed. So once again, many congratulations to Joshua De Silva's led team. They, against all expectations, won the regional championship when they were written off at the start of the season. Let's go Red Force. The business end of the Tata IPL has finally arrived after an absolute breathless week of league phase action from the 18th May to the 23rd of May. High-stakes drama and massive shifts in the standings completely transformed the leaderboards as the franchises fought tooth and nail for postseason position, with the top 3 positions in the likes of Royal Challengers Bengaluru, Gujarat Titans, and Sunrisers Hyderabad all securing playoff spots. The battle for 4th place is going to be decided by either Rajasthan Royals, Punjab Kings, or the Kolkata Knight Riders, who have an outside chance of making the top 4. We start off at the Cheepak on the 18th of May as Sunrisers Hyderabad secured a vital 5-wicket victory over the Chennai Super Kings, and furthermore ended the Super Kings' hopes of making the playoffs. Chasing a target of 181, the Sunrisers cruised across the finishing line with over 6 deliveries remaining, or should I say an over to spare, spearheaded by the impactful performances from player of the match, Ishan Kishan. The momentum rolled onto Tuesday, the 19th of May, as as Rajasthan Royals, kept their postseason aspirations firmly alive by chasing down a massive 220 to defeat last place Lucknow Super Giants by 7 wickets at the Sawai Mansingh Stadium in Jaipur. The midweek action on Wednesday, the 20th of May, saw a low-scoring thriller at Eden Gardens, where the Kolkata Knight Riders registered a hard-fought 4-wicket victory over 9th place Mumbai Indians, successfully overhauling Mumbai's target of 147 in the penultimate over. Then on Thursday, the 21st of May, witnessed an absolute demolition at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad as the Gujarat Titans emphatically secured second place status by dismantling the woeful Chennai Super Kings by a huge margin of 89 runs. The Titans batted first and weaponized their lineup, imposing a momentous 229 for the loss of 4 wickets from their allotted 20 overs on the board. And in response, the Chennai Super Kings batters collapsed entirely under immense pressure, crumbling to a horrible 140 all-out inside 14 overs. A spectacular clinical display by Mohammad Suraj broke the backbones of the Chennai Super Kings run chase very early on, and very interestingly, it earned him the Player of the Match award for that phenomenal performance in the beginning, and ensuring that the defending champions could not threaten Gujarat's march towards the playoffs. Now, already RCB alongside the Titans have already secured the playoff spot. So on Friday, the 22nd of May, at the Ranjit Gali International Cricket Stadium in Hyderabad, it featured a blockbuster clash which involves the Sunrisers Hyderabad defeating the Royal Challengers Bengaluru by 55 runs. And with that victory, the Sunrisers secured 3rd place spot, meaning that they will be involved in the eliminator with the 4th place winner. Now, all that RCB had to do was score over 150 plus or even get to 200 to secure top 2 and have 2 bites of the cherry. Now, Sunrisers, when they batted first, posted a daunting 255 for the loss of 4, which was anchored by brilliant half centuries from Abhishek Nair, Henrich Klaasen, and player of the match once again Ishan Kishan. Facing an impossible chase, RCB focused entirely on the milestone in scoring 166 plus to secure not only top 2 but have a massive advantage in the net run rate, or shall I say a positive net run rate. And it was spearheaded by brilliant contributions from Rajat Patidar, the captain, and Krunal Pandya. RCB reached 200 for the loss of 4 from their 20 overs. And even though they did lose the match by 55, they secured the number 1 spot in the standings. Royal Challengers Bengaluru will face off against the Gujarat Titans in the highly anticipated first qualifier on Tuesday, May 26, at the scenic backdrop of the HPCA Stadium in Dharamsala, with a direct ticket to the final on the line. Meanwhile, the Sunrisers Hyderabad will be waiting on the 4th place seed to face off against in the highly stakes eliminator on Wednesday, 27 May, at the new International Cricket Stadium in New Chandigarh in Mulampur. The teams that are fighting for that final playoff spot are Rajasthan Royals, Punjab Kings, who are most likely going to get it. It's between those two. And the outsiders in Kolkata Knight Riders, who has had a wonderful resurrection in the second half of the season after a disastrous first half where they barely got on the board. Tomorrow, the Mumbai Indians, or shall I say in a few hours from now, the Mumbai Indians will be facing off against the Rajasthan Royals at the Wankhede Stadium All that Rajasthan Royals have to do is defeat the Mumbai Indians to knock both the Punjab Kings and the Kolkata Knight Riders out of playoff spot, which means that if Rajasthan do beat Mumbai, they'll face Sunrisers Hyderabad. If Mumbai does defeat Rajasthan, they are out of the playoff running automatically, which opens up the door front outside chance for the Kolkata Knight Riders. Now, at the moment, Punjab Kings are in 4th place. Rajasthan are 1 point behind in 5th place. It's very similar to 2014 season where Mumbai leapfrogged Rajasthan via net run rate. I don't want to bring that back up because that gives me a lot of chills. But nevertheless, speaking of the Punjab Kings, they ended its 6-match losing streak yesterday by defeating the Lucknow Super Giants by 7 wickets. This is after facing a daunting target of 197. The Kings needed to get their momentum effort on the spot to keep their playoff dreams alive, and their captain Shreyas Iyer delivered when it was needed. He rose to the occasion with a historical individual performance that dominated the headlines on the night as he scored his maiden T20 century. But before we get to that, the Lucknow Super Giants, they batted first, posted a competitive 196 for the loss of 6, which was anchored by a powerful 72 or 44 from Australia's Josh English. And despite the shaky start they had, they also had contributions from Rishabh Pant and a rapid-fire 43 of 18 deliveries from Ayush Buduni, which helped the home team maintain the momentum. Then we cannot rule out that late surge from Abdul Samad, who added critical runs at the end. But it was the Punjab bowlers led by the experience of Yuzvendra Chahal and South Africa's Marco Jansen, who both shared 2 wickets between them, which managed to keep the total under 200 plus, which was the good thing. When Punjab came out the bat, they got off to a disastrous start. They were 2 wickets down for 22 early in the power play, all courtesy Mohammad Shami, who struck twice to remove both openers very cheaply. And with the pressure mounting on them and their season hanging by a thread, Shreyas Iyer and Prab Simran Singh combined for a masterful 140-run third-wicket partnership, while Prab Simran provided the early aggression with a fair 69 of 39. Shreyas Iyer settled himself in to anchor the innings before accelerating through the middle and towards the end. The final act belonged entirely to the skipper Iyer, who displayed sheer composure under immense pressure to reach his maiden IPL century in style, launching a massive 6 not only to get his 3-figures mark but to secure the victory of just 51 deliveries, 101 of just 51, to not only win the game for Punjab but to keep their season alive. And that innings included 11 boundaries and 5 maximums, which was the positive thing. They did, however, finish the run chase in 18 overs, finishing on 200 for the loss of 3 wickets. This victory provided them the vital lifeline they needed. Now, Punjab will be hoping for 2 things. Mumbai defeats Rajasthan, which automatically gets them in that playoff position. But remember, Kolkata still has to play their last game, and all that Kolkata has to do is try and win outright by at least over 80 plus runs, something like that, or chase the runs in 12 overs. It's impossible, but anything can still happen on the day. Bangladesh secured a momentous first on home soil. They swept Pakistan for the second time in 2 years, this time for the first time on home soil. The last time Bangladesh played Pakistan, a test series, was in Pakistan in 2024, where they swept the home team 2-0. Well, this time in Bangladesh, it was the same thing. This time Bangladesh, for the first time in their cricketing history, secured a historic momentous 2-0 series sweep against Pakistan, which culminated on the same day that Trinidad and Tobago Red Force won its first ever West Indies 4-day championship in 20 years. But coming back to Bangladesh now, on the same day, they secured a thrilling 78-run victory in the second test against Pakistan in Sylhet. The Tigers put together a exhibition clinical performance all round, which left the visitors completely searching for answers. This landmark achievement stands as an unforgettable milestone for Bangladesh cricket, providing the world that Bangladesh can be very unpredictable on its day. Mercurial at times, just like how Pakistan used to be. But now they're finally getting themselves onto the right track. Now, I said mercurial because outside of Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and West Indies, Bangladesh is another one that always gets the backlash most of the time. Remember T20 World Cup where they boycotted? Then recently, they stopped producing slow rank turners after getting a lot of penalties from ICC, and they started producing sporting wickets. And I would recommend all home teams, whenever they play at home, produce proper wickets that can suit your bowlers and spinners alike, because you see this obsession of flat highway wickets or these slow low rank turners, it really is not fair for cricket wise, to say the least. But coming back to Bangladesh though, this historic series win against Pakistan at home moves them 5th on the ICC World Test Championship table. Now, their next test series is down under against Australia in early August, and it's not going to be easy for them. But coming back to this historic 2-0 series win, it was defined by Bangladesh's ability to ruthlessly seize control during high-pressure moments in both matches, while veteran maestro Mushfiqur Rahim, he anchored the batting order right throughout the series with masterclass composure to finish with 253 runs to secure the player of the series honours. Then we cannot rule out their captain Liton Das, or should I say former captain Liton Das. His magnificent counter-attack first innings century completely altered the psychological advantage in favour of the Bangla Tigers, as the home team repeatedly proved that their low order depth and mental fortitude fought out the difficult positions they were faced in, which transformed flat pitches and aggressive heat into suffocating arena for the Pakistani batters. While their batters provided the necessary runs, the true headline of the series for the Tigers was Bangladesh maturity in the pace attack department, which was led by Nahid Rana. But before we get to that, there was a time several years back they used to rely a lot on spin heavy tracks, but since they started producing sporting wickets this year, their bowling attack has been performing much better than we would have even thought it. Now, across the two matches himself, Nahid Rana secured 18 wickets, and he was the one, in my opinion, that should have gotten the player of the series. He utterly terrorized the Pakistani batters and was absolutely lethal. And he was also well supported by the evergreen left arm unorthodox spinner in Taijul Islam, especially on the final day's play, where Islam secured yet another 5-wicket haul, finishing with 6 wickets in the innings, as Bangladesh possessed a relentless multi-dimensional bowling attack that Pakistan simply could not have deterred. For Pakistan, this absolute disaster of a tour exposes profound systemic failures and raises urgent, uncomfortable questions regarding selection policy and long-term planning alongside team identity. The root of the catastrophic tour can be traced directly to the baffling management continuance in persistence with struggling senior players such as opening batter Imamul Haq and paceman Hassan Ali, whose predictable performances provided zero penetration or stability under immense pressure. Furthermore, the defense short-sighted experiment of leaning to elderly spinners such as Sajid Khan, who's 34 years of age, and Numan Ali, who's around 39-40 years of age, over the last few years, which has paid off dividends, has finally been comprehensively exposed outside of Pakistan, which offering neither the mystery or the control required to restrict highly disciplined Bangladeshi batting lineup. Amidst the heavy wreckage of this humiliating defeat, the only true silver linings for Pakistan came from the tiny handful of individual performances from the newer players and the discarded players. For example, veteran Mohammad Abbas, who, mind you, last played a test for Pakistan in January 2025 against South Africa. He came back into the team and was the leading wicket taker right throughout the series. And then too, he had an unlike partner in crime in Khurram Shehzad, I beg your pardon, who replaced the outer form Shaheen Shah Afridi and showed that he did show genuine fight with the ball much more than Shaheen Shah Afridi, whose pace has drastically dropped big time within the last couple of seasons. Furthermore, what was most encouragingly to see was the debuts of young opening batters Abdullah Fazal and Azan Owais, who blazed the way with a sensational fighting century on debut in Mirpur, and it proved that a golden generation of younger players is desperately waiting in the wings. Now, these guys have been performing consistently on the domestic scene in Pakistan for quite some time, and I've watched some of the footage online, and I'm very impressed with the way how they played. More mature than the likes of Babar Azam, Salman Ali Agar, Mohammad Rizwan, etc. You name it, those old geezers who continue to fail for Pakistan and always performs in the PSL. But fact of the matter is, Pakistan has a serious problem regarding its red ball future, and the national selectors led by Aki Jabid and those bunch of in cahoots have to immediately stop with relying on failing seniors and embrace on a complete youth revelation, which could get the Pakistani cricket back on good terms. And not only that, to trust the Pakistani public, because on the other hand, the former players who are experts on TV shows and those stuff, they are overfed up, and they were the ones that were part of the problem back in their time when they struggled against big teams. But the fact of the matter is, losing to lower rank sides like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Zimbabwe, West Indies, it is a serious wake-up call to say the least. It's time you trust these younger stars to rebuild and move away from the failing senior cores. And talking about it in the next video, which I will talk about, I will discuss Pakistan's squad for the Australia series, and that one, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, it raises eyebrows to say the least. But all of that being said, I'm going to wrap it up for this episode of the Cricket Rockstar Show. Hope you guys liked it. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe to all of my social media platforms to keep all of you all updated with what's going on the world of cricket. And until we meet again, love is where the heart is. And to all the persons who hate me out there, F you. Bye for now.